Hello, I am Xarkun. This is World of Warships Legends. Today I've got a game for you in the lower tiers. We're going to be in the Tier 3 Premium American Battleship Arkansas. And as you look at the enemy team roster there, you might notice some familiar names. We've got, on the enemy team, a division composed of the Hivehound, Captain Knievel, and Heck. This game was played during one of the Hivehound's streams, I think on Friday, maybe. And I, of course, tried to get into the same game as Hive and his division and see what I could do if I ended up on the enemy team, which is precisely where I ended up. And this is going to be a pretty good battle. It's going to start off rather slow, but by the end of it, we're going to see if we can't eliminate the Hivehound's entire division and win the game. I'm sure if any of you watching this were watching the Hivehound stream, you know exactly how this game turns out, but you never saw it from my perspective, so here we go. First shot of the game yields 7,441 damage against a broadside Phoenix. Would have liked a deletion, but it's not so. Notice that there are 5 destroyers on each team, so this match is composed of 10 destroyers, which is why I am not immediately pushing out and instead turning away from the bulk of the enemy team. Polar is an extremely small map. You can see that with my maximum gun range, which I think is about 14 kilometers, from the back of the map here, I essentially cover about half of the map. So that should give you an idea of just how small it is, and just how dangerous it would be for me to push immediately into a cluster of 5 enemy destroyers. Now, of course, there are only 4 enemy destroyers. One of the Reds has gone down to one of our teammates here. So now we've kind of taken ourselves too much out of position. We're going to end up going forward a little bit more now. We can see on the map where the majority of the enemy team is concentrated, and so we will take steps to avoid running into too many of them. They're all over there on that eastern side of the map, including the Hivehound over there in the legendarily bad Tier 2 cruiser, or honestly, I think it's supposed to be a battleship, the Mikasa. Meme-worthy atrociousness there. And what's that? A broadside Arkansas right in front of us, being driven by Heck. Too bad our dispersion is so off point. I don't know if we're actually going to hit him at all with that. Okay, I guess we did. But not for anything too spectacular, despite the fact that he was broadside. These low-tier battleships are just so very inaccurate. They let people get away with stuff like that, which I suppose is fine if you're just starting off the game. We're moving into a danger zone here, though, with a destroyer pushing in. Can't remember if it's Captain Knievel or not, but we are spotted now. That destroyer obviously knows we're here. We're going to be turning to starboard here in order to put these islands between us and any torpedoes that might be coming our way. It's actually an Izokazi, and I don't think that is Captain Knievel. I also don't think we're going to be able to get shots on him unless he is inclined to push out from behind that island and try to torpedo the friendly battleship in front of me. Torpedoes are heading my way, though, as I thought they might. And turning in, looks like we're going to be able to dodge all of them. Secondaries opening up right now. We briefly spot a very scary enemy destroyer, and here comes the Izokazi, pushing out in plain sight, right in front of all of my guns. The island saves him a little bit there, but we chunk him for about half of his hit points, and we've drawn much closer now to the fray of enemies. Heck is out there presenting a big threat to us, and there is Captain Knievel in his G101. He's at about half health. Our guns are nearly reloaded. Pulling out now. Hopefully he has not launched torpedoes. One shot tags him for a little bit of damage, but this next shot, yep, that's lights out for Captain Knievel. Turning away now as the Izokaze comes out. He has launched torpedoes at us. We want to make sure we don't take too many of those, and it looks like 2 sets of torps fly harmlessly past us. Secondaries chewing up the Izokaze a little bit. This game was played before the secondary update, by the way, but the Arkansas is a ship that I want to take a look at now that the secondaries have been buffed. Don't think we're going to dodge these torpedoes, and I think we might actually overturn here a little bit. Not quite enough to take both of them, so only one in the end. We've taken down Captain Knievel, though. There's only 1 enemy destroyer left. There are 2 destroyers left on my team, and I really wish they were pushing into the enemy base rather than smoking up, sitting stationary in front of Heck. I am concerned that the final enemy destroyer may be heading toward our base, so I don't want to get too far away from it, lest it start being flipped. I'm hoping that these 2 destroyers are going to be able to hit Heck with enough torpedoes to sink him, but probably not. And here I am being spotted by something I cannot see, which indicates that there may be a destroyer in these parts, at least somewhere. Honestly, he could be anywhere on this map, given how far my detectability radius goes out. Yeah, there he is, about 7 kilometers away. He's going toward the 2 friendly destroyers who continue to sit inside of the smoke screen. Looking back on this, I probably should have pushed in there to help them out, because I think they're both going to end up dying here with their positioning and their insistence that they need to launch. Oh, okay, well, I guess they launched torpedoes at that Wakatake and they took him out, so whatever. Last enemy destroyer down. Whether they can take out Heck, though, is a little bit of a different story. One of them looks like he's going to suicide rush Heck, and we've got a very problematic, nearly full health Wyoming out there, which is not going to do me any favors. At the moment, I am unspotted, so they don't know my exact location. Trying to get around this island here to get some shots on Heck. Gonna take 1 at that Wyoming while we are still behind concealment, and we do hit him really hard there for 14k, which is a great start. We are spotted now, though, because here comes the Hivehound in the fearsome Mikasa. There go the secondaries opening up, and like I said, I really do want to test out this ship with the new secondary improvements, because you can see just how effective these secondaries are without speccing into them at all before the secondary buff. We're just chewing up Hivehound's Mikasa. Unfortunately, the main guns don't quite land in the way I want them to, so that strike against Hive is not as devastating as it otherwise could be. Hivehound is honestly pretty screwed here. The Mikasa is not what you would call a terribly accurate ship, and even if it were, I am not convinced that he'd be able to do a lot of damage to me with his tiny little guns. So he's about dead now. Honestly, I've got bigger problems to worry about, I think, in the form of Heck over there in his Arkansas and that Wyoming. And Heck is shooting at me with the high explosive, so I'm going to start turning my turrets his way and allow the secondaries to do the work on Hivehound's Mikasa. They should be able to take him out quite easily. We get the Confederate medal with either that secondary hit or the hit against Heck. Don't know which. We haven't done a lot of damage, but we have taken a lot of hit points off of destroyers. And of course, the Confederate medal. There goes the close quarters expert against the Hivehound. He's dead. Of course, the Confederate medal awards you based on the percentage of a ship's hit points you take off. I think you have to take like 20% of the hit points off of 6 enemy ships. So, yeah. Anyway, there's a decent hit on Heck there, kind of right through the bow for 8k. I'm concerned he might be able to do the same thing to me, although he has been firing high explosive. So, yeah, it's still the high explosive. Or, yep, definitely still the high explosive, actually. Now we're on fire. That's not nice. Kind of annoying, honestly. Heck, why are you doing this to me? Light me on fire. Nevertheless, I'm going to turn completely broadside right here. I suspect the next salvo is probably also going to be high explosive, and I do kind of want to get closer because I should be able to finish off Heck, and then I'll only have the Wyoming to worry about as far as taking him out. If I can finish off Heck and finish off the Wyoming, I will win this game with a Kraken unleashed. We'll see if I am up to the task. Certainly, I think we've got a pretty good shot at being up to the task of finishing off Heck here. Just have to deal with the questionable, wonky accuracy of Tier 3 battleship guns. Getting the rest of the turrets on target, shooting right through the bow and or maybe into the superstructure there, taking off a lot of hit points from Heck. Get lit on fire twice. I think that Wyoming might also be shooting high explosive at me, and that salvo, not enough to finish off Heck. In fact, 2 of the shells that hit ricochet, which is incredibly annoying. I would really like to take Heck down because he is spotting me for this Wyoming, who I cannot see, which puts me at a disadvantage. I think I should probably be turning to port here, and in fact I am. Heck is giving broadside. He finally switches to the armor piercing and takes a significant chunk off of me, but I take Heck down, and with that I have eliminated the Hivehound's entire division. So congratulations to me, feels great, but I've got about a 3/4 health Wyoming here shooting high explosive at me. I'm on fire. It's going to continue to burn for 32 seconds, and I don't have the damage control available. My hit points are dangerously low in the red zone, so hopefully this Wyoming is going to give up the goods, and not really, although we do take out one of his turrets there temporarily, which will be helpful in terms of cutting down his ability to damage us. We're sitting, by the way, in terms of damage at 92,000 damage done, which I think is pretty high for such a low-tier game, and 4 kills. So, I mean, we've done all we can, and the Wyoming switches to armor piercing, finishes us off, and we lose the game. But, in my opinion, I hope anyway, it was a pretty great effort. Good game to you guys, Heck, Hivehound, and Captain Knievel, as well as all of the other viewers whose names I recognize in this team roster, including Birdman in his Izokaze, that I think we killed him too, can't remember. Anyway, just thought that would be a fun little video for you guys to watch. Xarkun versus the Hivehound and the Hivehound's division. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already done that. Let me know what you think of the Hivehound's performance in the Mikasa in the comment sections below, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.